welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing one of these. The very first empty that I have today is the Superfruit shampoo from SheaMoisture. Last summer SheaMoisture sent me most of the products in their line. Also, this is no longer an Ulta exclusive. I've seen it popping up at CVS as well. What I like about this shampoo is that it's lighter than some of SheaMoisture's other shampoos as far as the moisture goes, but I think it's actually a little bit too light. The more I used this, the more I started thinking and feeling that it wasn't quite moisturizing enough. So while I mostly liked this, and I would consider buying it again, if I do buy it again, I'll probably experiment with adding some oil to make it a little more moisturizing. Next up, I have another SheaMoisture shampoo. This is the Kids Mango and Carrot shampoo. I've had this one for a while. I just wasn't using it consistently because I didn't take it up to school with me. I think this is one of the unsung heroes as far as SheaMoisture products go. It's not talked about a lot or given a lot of recognition, but it's really nice. Even though this says kids, yes, grown-ups can use it too. Think outside the marketing box. This is lower in shea butter, but it has olive oil in it too, which is great hair food, and it helps keep the shampoo moisturizing without it being too heavy. It says dry, delicate hair on the front and fine and delicate hair on the back. So if you have finer hair, I would suggest you keep this in mind. I got this at Sally's, but I've also seen it at Walmart and Target too. This one I would definitely repurchase. Don't mind the top, by the way. This is what happens when you accidentally drop your shampoo one too many times in the shower. It had this big crack running through it, and then the top just kind of fell off. Oops. Next up, I have the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Leave-In from SheaMoisture. There's no way I'm reading you guys the entire product name on this baby. Holy crap. This was also part of the little goodie box that Diane Mary sent me, so shout out Diane and thank you for sending me this. It wasn't entirely full, it was definitely at least half full, might have been like 2/3 or 3/4 full when she sent this to me, and I was really excited for this because this is a 16-ounce tub, which is twice the size of the leave-in that I normally use for only a little bit more. I think this is around $12. Now, when I was looking at reviews of this, I saw a blog post by The Main Objective, and I'm going to put the links to the article down below. Apparently, this contains some kind of vegetable protein silicone thing called Hydrolyzed Vegetable Protein PG Propyl Silantriol. Holy crap. I also looked up a profile on this ingredient looking for info on its water solubility, and according to that, it said it was water soluble. I didn't seem to experience any buildup from this. Definitely not like before I was CG, really dry and frizzy. I didn't have issues with that, but at the same time, my curls didn't seem to behave the same way. They weren't shaped quite the same way when they dried. I first tried this over the winter, and it was definitely too much then. I already have issues with my hair being loose and limp, and this just exacerbated the problem. And then I went back to using it earlier this summer, and it seemed to work fine. In fact, it really helped with frizz control. I still have some mixed feelings because of that one ingredient, but I didn't seem to have any big problems with it. I might repurchase this again in the future. I'm not sure, but if I do, it's going to be a summer-only product. Next up, I have a bottle of the Tresemme Perfectly Undone conditioner. I talked about this in more detail in my New Love Products video. This was my very first bottle. I'm on my second bottle. In fact, I'm actually nearing the bottom. What I didn't mention in the other video though is that this is fantastic for shaving. Fun fact about me, I do not like traditional shave creams or shave gels. I haven't used them in many years, so I use conditioner instead. So I've been using it to shave, which is how I'm going through it so quickly. Next up, I finally got myself a bottle of the Kinky Curly Not Today. This is like the granddaddy of curly hair products. I've been hearing so much good about it for so long. Like through my friend Sarah Waterlily716, she used to use this a lot, and I heard a lot about it from her. Finally got myself a bottle. Now, I didn't have access to Target at the time, so I made the mistake of buying this at Whole Foods in New York City when I was on a day trip. So it was like $14 or $15 there. Normally, I think this is around $13. This is super moisturizing without using any kind of heavy oils or butters, which I think is why it is so great. It has mostly herbal kind of ingredients. If you had to ask me which leave-in I prefer between this one and the As I Am, I would still probably pick the As I Am because it's a few dollars cheaper for the same size. They're both 8-ounce bottles, but performance-wise, they're completely interchangeable for me, and I would have no problem using this again. Alright, now we're going to switch things up a little bit because I have some non-hair related products to talk about. The first one is this Tree Hut Sugar Scrub in the Tropical Mango scent. This is my very first Tree Hut scrub. I'd heard a lot of good things about them, so I finally convinced myself to buy one of these to try it. I got it at Walmart. It was, I think, $7 or $8, which was a pretty good price. It lasted me probably a month using it every few days. And it smells yummy, very tart tropical fruit scent. And this is from someone who doesn't really like fruity scents. Like, I don't like fruity scented perfumes or anything like that. Plus it has shea butter and several moisturizing oils too, as well as the sugar to help moisturize your skin. Next up in the skincare department, I got this vitamin C toner from Avalon Organics at Walmart. This I think was $8 or $9 for the bottle, which, while it was a little painful when I bought it, it was a decent price because this too lasts me for a pretty long time. It has mostly botanical ingredients, a nice little fresh orange peel kind of scent. It seemed to do the job fine. It didn't irritate my skin at all. My only big complaint was that it left my face feeling a little bit tacky after I would use it. That, and this wasn't the most effective on my acne. I was using this while I was at school, so my skin tended to flare up a lot from stress. I liked this. If I had to repurchase it, I would probably purchase it again, but what I'm using now I like a lot better. Next up, I have a bottle of the Josie Maran Argan Oil in the light formula. This is from Sephora. This was also a little indulgence. Again, I was in New York on a day trip and I went into Sephora. This was with all the other little sample sizes and travel size type things that they have up by the register because Sephora is sneaky like that. This was $16. I think the standard size for a bottle of Josie Maran Argan Oil is $49. I splurged on a bottle of the regular formula and I was using that as a moisturizer during the winter, and even that was a little bit too much. It was making my skin just a little bit greasy. So the next time I went, I decided to try the light formula. So if a straight oil is a little too much for you, this is nice. I was also using it on my nails and cuticles, which was nice because it seemed to absorb faster. Now instead of argan oil, this says it contains argan oil isosteroic esters. So I'm not sure how they do it, but it's a lightened up form of the original oil. I don't see myself repurchasing this anytime soon. Again, it was expensive. This was a little splurge. And last but not least, this is the Lavender and Orchid Body Butter from SheaMoisture. I cut the bottle up to scoop out the last of the product. Rather than using this as a body butter, I was actually using this on my hands throughout the winter and spring when it was really cold. I had these patches of what seemed to be like a cold weather kind of eczema. I had them most of the fall and all the winter and a good part of the spring too. On parts of my fingers and especially on the inside of this wrist, you might even be able to see some of the marks that were left over here. It was really bad. My skin was rough and flaking and cracked, and I had little like pinpricks of blood where I guess I had scratched and it was just so dry and irritated. And I found that those patches responded really well to this. They didn't go away completely, but the itching and the redness calmed down a lot when I would use this. I think it was due to the lavender. I have my current tube here because according to the back of the package, the lavender calms and soothes irritated skin. So it seemed to work. As you can tell, I've already repurchased this. I've had two other SheaMoisture body butters before, the coconut and hibiscus and then the green tea and olive. This is definitely my favorite out of those three. And the scent is really nice too. I can't smell the orchid by itself, I don't think, but I've noticed the lavender is more mellow than other lavender scents. Lavender is another scent that I'm picky about because it's usually too sharp for me, but this is nice and soft. So I wonder if the orchid helps mellow out the lavender scent. And that concludes this batch of empties. Hope you enjoyed watching. As always, don't be afraid to leave your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you look me up on social media. You can reach out to me that way too. Thanks for your support to both old subscribers and new, and I guess I will see you guys next time. Bye!